What's going on, world? I know you haven't seen this beautiful face in such a long time, but this be your boy, Eddy Kool, and welcome to another installment of the Eddy Kool Wrestling Show. I'm your host, of course, Eddy Kool. In case you can't read, let me put it back for you. And this is another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. The Eddy Kool Wrestling Show is aptly named after me. But I know it's been a while. A lot of storylines have changed. A lot of people got future endeavored, so forth and so such. And YouTube, World Wide Web, I miss y'all, man. Let me know how y'all been, man. You know, I've been through some things lately, and I had to relocate back home to South Carolina. And it's cold here, just like it was up north. But I'm happy as ever to be back home, and I'm glad that y'all taking time out y'all lives and y'all busy schedule to come check out your boy Eddy Kool, because tonight is the Royal Rumble, live on pay-per-view. So go to your local sports bar or go to your friend's house and get your Royal Rumble on. Coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia, ATL, son. Big shout out to Atlanta. And y'all know the format of the Eddy Kool Wrestling Show. It is the stuff. I got a nice size list. I'm not going to bore y'all too much. So we going to jump right into it. You know, I wondered whatever happened just to being a pure and true wrestling fan. I mean, it seems to me nowadays that people get so caught up of, like, you know, they get so caught up. It's kind of like where they plead their allegiance to either TNA, ROH, or WWE. And in a sense, that's not a bad thing because, you know, at one point, me living in the South, I was a straight WCW fan because WCW was prominently, you know, ran all up and down the South, the southeastern part of the United States. And I was sandwiched in between Atlanta, Georgia. Me living in South Carolina, I was sandwiched between Atlanta, Georgia, and like Greensboro, North Carolina. And, you know, that was and I was in the middle of the hotbed, the territories back in the 80s. So you grew up watching that. I grew up watching that, which wasn't bad at all. And I didn't start watching the WWE till about, like, you know, 90, 91-ish or something like that. And I watched WCW until it finally closed its doors. So what I'm saying is that's not bad. I compare that to, like, people like in, you know, people pledge their allegiance to Ohio State or the University of Southern California Trojans or the University of South Carolina Gamecocks. I can see it as that. But me, I mean, am I a fan of any organization? No, not really. I'm just a fan of the wrestling. You have to look at each company, ROH, TNA, and WWE, as like a variety pack of cereal. Each one has something to offer because people are constantly dogging WWE. People won't never stop dogging TNA, and people just don't seem to stop dogging ROH enough. But see, what you got to look at it is, if you want the whole sports entertainment aspect with a little bit of wrestling, you watch WWE. When you want the pure wrestling that's not sports entertainment, you watch Ring of Honor Wrestling. And when you kind of want the mixture of both, you watch TNA because TNA has some good wrestling product. The whole Eric Bischoff, Hulk Hogan thing, I mean, people are so easy to downcast on it from the jump. I mean, look, this only been in effect for like a few weeks. I say it like this: give it some time. Give it about the summertime, and we'll see what's going on. And then, you know, we can say what we want to say. Because me, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's good because anything Hulk Hogan put his hands on is gold. It's going straight to the top. Hey, check out WCW between 94 and 95, Monday Night Wars. They whooped WWE, what, 80-some weeks in a row in ratings? So that's pretty much how I feel about that. Speaking of the Monday Night Wars, I'm going to talk about that next. Now, IMO, in my opinion, I think that TNA put out all the stops. I mean, it was good. I mean, TNA had some flaws. Of course, you know, Impact is recorded and it's not live. But, you know, them being live, it really, you know, made them step their game up, really. And, you know, you had some scenes that were questionable, like the whole part where they had the Thunder Cage, not the Thunder Cage match, but you know what I'm talking about, like the Octagon match with the hole on the top and the 6 sides of steel, steel asylum, whatever you want to call it, that match with the big red cage. And Hernandez, but Homicide got stuck. I don't know if you know this, but watch. It's probably on YouTube somewhere, where Homicide got stuck, and then next thing you know, here comes Jeff Hardy. And I think that was pretty good. I think that was pretty good. I mean, they had it was handled kind of sloppily, but overall I think it was pretty good. I mean, you know, it had some high points and some low points, and it was good because I'm telling you right now, other than Raw having Bret Hart, it seemed very basic, very basic. I mean, it was just flat. Raw just seemed flat, and TNA just seemed to get the jump on them when it comes to that because they started at 8 as opposed to Raw that started at 9. And I think TNA is running hot, going live again on Monday night, March the 1st, 2010. So mark that on your calendar, set it on your DVR. The Monday night, the whole Monday night thing brought back nostalgic feeling. You're flicking back and forth between channels. You want to watch this, but you're too scared you're going to miss that. And, you know, it brings back a nostalgic feeling. That's why I'm smiling. So that's how I feel about the Monday Night Wars Part 2. I mean, I don't really consider it a war. I just call it, you know, Showdown on Monday night. Plain and simple. You know, that's the problem. People like to rehash old stuff and try to live off of it. But, yeah, my opinion, I think TNA pulled it out. Pulled it all the way out. HBK versus Undertaker II. To be quite honest with you, I would love to see the rematch again if both guys can stay healthy. That's a big plus. If both guys can stay healthy. I don't care if the title's on the line or what. But I would like to see that match because that's one of the best matches I've seen in quite some time. I mean, it was a cliffhanger. The part where the Undertaker did the dive over the top rope and damn near killed himself. Okay? Damn near, I think he landed on his neck. Damn near killed himself. And then the match was so good, them boys took, 5 months off. You got to understand, these guys are like in their mid-40s, if I'm not mistaken. So for them to put on such a show like that at the biggest stage in professional wrestling, I honestly think it was good. And yes, I would love to see it again. Everybody's like, no, I don't want to see it. But think about it. I mean, WrestleMania 25. My fondest memory that I'll have from it is that match, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. And I would love to see it again. Love to see it again. No matter what the Rumble outcome may be, I would love to see that match again. It was a good match. I swear it was a good match. Like I said, it's going to be a short version of the Eddy Kool Wrestling Show. And I didn't want to keep y'all on here forever because I know y'all got stuff to do. In the future, I'm going to have some panelists joining me on the Eddy Kool Wrestling Show. You know, this is fans talking to fans. That's all it is. I'm not an insider, not a know-it-all. I'm not going to the spoilers, dropping information, dropping salt. That ain't me. That ain't how Eddy Kool. Questions, comments, emails. Y'all know where to send them. Send them to my, that'll be eddykool843 at gmail.com. That's EDDYKOOL 843 at gmail.com. And now please send some emails, man. I want to know what y'all think. I'll even read some if y'all send them to me, for real. I will even read some, and if y'all got questions in mind, you can also leave them on YouTube, too. Hey, I got thick skin. I'm a big boy. I'm 250 pounds. I can take a little bit of criticism. I mean, you can leave it there. And I'm looking forward to hearing from y'all, man. But before I go, I want to give a shout-out to a few people. I want to give a big shout-out to ROH Brazil. You know what I'm talking about, so that way I can see them videos because I'm nowhere near HD at the moment. So big shout-out to ROH Brazil. Appreciate what you do. And this is Eddy Kool saying thank you. The RBR Wrestling Weekly Talk podcast. I'm big on the podcast. I love the wrestling podcast. They're funny. You get advice and everything else about the wrestling business from a fan's perspective, and it's really good. Let's see. Big shout out to the crew there, the RBR Weekly Wrestling Talk podcast. Big shout out to Felipe, Will, Paul, Matt. Who else? The Sharpshooters Wrestling podcast. Marcus, Eric, Ryan. I'm telling you what, the Sharpshooters podcast. These guys are funny. These guys are funny. And Sharpie Wife, too. I didn't forget you. Pro Wrestling Radio. Big shout out to Eric Gargiulo. I like him, too. His commentary is real good, too. He has guests and callers and stuff like that. That's good as well. And the folks at the PWR show, Damian, Frank, Dave, and the man they call Meathead. And they had Skull Crusher, Rashi Brown, on last Monday, and it was funny. He was screaming and stuff. It was real funny. But that's it. That's all I got to say. This your boy Eddy Kool. I appreciate y'all watching the Eddy Kool Wrestling Show. I'm out.